All right, we're recording again. Technical difficulties. I don't know what happened. I froze. Everything froze. So Wesley, what is Button's insight check or modifier?
+1.
+1. So we have a +4 for Kira and a +1 for Buttons. Okay. Buttons on your insight check the um with Zarok, the lizard folk from Adaria. You gather that he seems sorry, I'm thinking of the right words. He seems okay with the Duke. That question didn't frustrate him regarding the Duke. Kieran, your insight check. You're suspicious. You've been asking Zarok a lot of questions. You detect irritation when asked about being summoned to Celine. Irritation.
Okay.
I want to add, Buttons, you had talked about your understanding of the seas of Adaria. I want you to roll a history check for me.
All right. Historia -1. Let's see.
And actually
Yeah.
roll with advantage because it's relating
Okay.
to the sea. Oh, and actually, sorry, no advantage. I'm sorry. We're talking about the oceans. You don't sail the oceans.
Oh yeah, that's true. I have.
Yeah, but you're like, I was thinking of the proficiency. And it's
Yeah, yeah,
land
yeah.
vehicles, not sea vehicles.
Well, 4 - 1 equals 3.
Okay, sorry. Damn. Um,
Shoot.
No history.
I have a question.
yeah.
Would Phineas know who, like, obviously we're all our own individual countries or land masses in Adirtha. Who is, like, the leading power of all of these? Like, what's the hierarchy? Hierarchy?
Mhm.
Yeah. Or is there not one?
That's a good question. Like, I guess I'm trying to compare it to like modern geography, like where there's like powerhouses, like big
Mm-mm.
country. Is that what
Yeah.
you're trying to ask? Like where everyone sits? Like if I were to compare them, like
Not like I don't
power?
need like every single one, but is there a leader? Is there a last place one? Where does Celine fit in that would be more of the question, I guess.
I was considering Solene to be like a newer, smaller, but prominent rising power.
Okay.
I was picturing like the heavy hitters, the big players to be Mirrigan and
Hmm.
Tormale or Tormal.
Hmm.
Um, but really most of the smaller islands either like are like loosely represented by the Garridans just beneath them, or like not representing them, like not wanting to be represented at all. So like normally if the islands band together on like a front or like a cause for whatever reason, well it's like military in the past or just like morally, they kind of join forces with Garridan in general, which
Okay.
is the
And
larger landmass beneath it.
right. And Tormale, the Aarakocra is from Tormale, right? That's what we
Uh
determined.
yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
But I would say like if I'm generalizing, it's like if we're talking about the people at the table, it's like the Garridans is
Hmm.
a big deal. So like the Krumars are probably, I would argue, the most prominent family at the table. If we're talking about like if we're looking at like a hierarchy, like as you use the phrasing. But it's like no one speaks to each people. Everyone
Yeah.
here is representative of their own nation. So it's like being at the UN, but it's like
Got it.
nobility instead.
Right. Okay.
But I'd say it's like the Garridans and Mirrigan are like over Tormal. Like
But the
Tormal's like old power, like fading power is kind of how I was picturing it loosely.
okay. And the Krumar family only represents a part of the Garridans, not like the whole thing.
Correct. Yeah, there's many
Yeah.
families from the Garridans.
Hmm. Thanks.
Yeah.
Um, as I sense the irritation from Zarok, can I just do like a quick once over? I'm gonna pretend to like drop something on the floor and get up to like pick it up and just like do a quick scan to make sure that like if he does have weapons that they are purely ornamental. Just like I want to get a sense if this guy is like just visually coming to pick a fight with the Duke or like throw his weight around, or if he's just like a grumpy dude.
Bro, well, by like doing that move, you'll be able to see. Are you just trying to like make it look natural? I think it's believable that you can
Yeah,
just drop something.
I'm just trying to make it look natural. I'm trying to not make it look like I'm like scanning his physical appearance
Okay.
overtly.
I'm not gonna have you roll it because I think this is actually pretty doable without like I don't want a skill check to rely on this,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay.
As you like drop a napkin or something like that and look down to the side of Zarok, the lizard folk, you can see he does have like ornamental weaponry on his belt. It looks very decorative with your glance. But yes, he is equipped with weapons
But again,
visually.
it doesn't look like, at least from the way things are laid out, that there's no like intent to use.
Yeah, I would just like they clearly look decorative, and I'd add
Yeah.
like looking even when you're speaking to him, you can see like based off the layer of clothing, like he's not armored. There's not like
Yeah.
there's there's nothing like that set up on him. He's clearly wearing like formal wear, though it is
Okay.
like formal wear of a Daria. It is formal wear.
Yeah, I think Kieran's danger sense would like dull a little bit. I think that we've just been so used to like action like coming at. I think Kieran was just making sure that no one was coming after the Duke.
Okay. Um. All right. I like that question. That's fair. Um. It's been I know what we kind of were getting into with all these discussions, which I like, was the time in between Phineas speaking with Emmeline and coming back down. So let's assume Phineas, you return with Emmeline.
Mhm.
What is like? Is there anything specific in regards to the reentrance you think Emmeline would have had prepared, or just like walked in, seeing if anyone noticed?
Yeah, I feel like the lights would have dimmed. Like the lighting would change, like to set like this is the second half of the evening. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, the music would also change, the live music of whatever would be playing. Um, and yeah, I would let her go first and lead the way and then follow. But
We would,
For the
yeah.
music, we
Mm.
just say that the orchestra is perfectly orchestrated.
hell yes.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Such a dad joke. Okay. As Emmeline returns to the dinner party with
Mm-hmm.
Phineas at her side, both her brother and the guest of honor tonight, you'll see she puts herself on one side of Duke Elric Darlington's chair and kind of places both of her hands on his shoulder. And she kind of looks at you like as if to like gesture like a mirroring on either side.
Okay. So I would follow and then stand in between like daddy and mommy's chair and
Yeah.
kind of I wouldn't put my hands on him, but I would just like kind of like stand behind the chair and be like looking at her, waiting for my cue, because
Yeah, it's a
clearly
cue.
she has some shit planned.
Yeah, and as she places her hands on the Duke's shoulders, you'll see the Duke will turn and look up at her and like put a big old smile on his face, and he'll stand rather sternly. Everyone, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's dinner. My daughter Emmeline invites all of you to enjoy the grounds. We will have continued fanfare, dancing, music. For anyone interested in having a few cigars, we're laying some out from our reserve as we speak. And we have some card games in the parlor. You know, tonight is your evening. Enjoy yourselves. Staff is prepared to bring you to your room at any time. But at this point, we will wrap up the dinner. You'll see he'll stand, he'll grab his glass, what's left of the drink in front of him, he'll finish it and put it down. I will be going to the cigar room. You are welcome to join me. And you'll see he'll kind of lead the promenade or the parade out. But people start to stand in clusters, continuing the conversations they had from dinner. You're welcome to join whomever. I don't have specific places where I picture people going. It's kind of like that general dispersing. Some people continue to work their way out into the gardens. Some people make their way indoors. Some people stay at the table, clearly very immersed in a discussion. Like it's just kind of like the setting has changed, the light's dimmer, and you can see the staff is kind of like anxiously hovering around the dinner table to start clearing it. And you can see a few staff even come in, and you pick up on the fact that they're probably going to clear the room to be used for dancing very shortly. So they're like, all right, hurry on, distractions. So like even like ushering them out was planned.
Kieran's going to cigars.
Buttons of cigars.
Yeah, I'd be
Going to
curious to see who's following to cigar room. Like, is Mr. Why am I drawing a fucking blank on this goddamn
Mr.
name?
Krumar.
Yeah, is Mr. Krumar going, or is Etram going?
Mr. Krumar will go.
Okay.
I think Arthur, our halfling, will go. Travell will go. Camilla will go. Our lizard folk, Zarok, probably won't go. Narani won't go. Narani, excuse me. Mrs. Krumar won't go.
Mhm.
Etram won't go, and his sister won't go. So most of the Krumar don't follow Mr. Krumar into the cigar room.
Okay. Yeah, I would be going to the cigar room as well.
I'll go too.
I would
Yeah.
like to go to the parlor room and play tabletop games.
With
Okay.
the children.
Okay, Mest, where are you going?
Cigar room. It's looking a little sausagey up in there. And both Mest and Kayleen will never stand for mostly men being together.
Well, you know what the shape of a cigar is.
Sausage, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is no one checking the grounds then?
Mm.
I'll check grounds if someone hangs out in the parlor.
I'll go. I can check the grounds. You can go to the parlor.
Thank you.
Against every fiber of my being, I will allow a majority of men to hang out by themselves.
Sarah,
Kelly would be listening in.
Yeah, don't worry, I got us, girls. Girl gang for life.
infiltration.
Even though Finn is there, Kelly's listening in.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got the. I'll handle
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Sarah, you said Brick's gonna search the grounds. What is she searching for?
I was asking if every domain was covered because you mentioned the gardens. Kayleen volunteered to cover the gardens or the grounds, so I'm sticking with the parlor
Oh,
room
okay.
if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, I want to handle the gardens first then. So,
Okay.
Mest, you split off from most of the party. I was thinking that
Beer is probably with you.
I imagine Vera was with Finn,
Oh,
but
that's
she
probably
could be
true,
with
yeah.
me. I
I
don't know,
don't-
Paige. I think it's your call.
oh.
I wouldn't picture her going to the cigar, the parlor room or whatever, the cigar take cigars with all the boys.
I picture her wanting to. This is what I picture, because she's been high anxiety since last session. She said that before the dinner. The place where it's going to be the most isolated, a break from dinner, is probably going to be. She's just looking to probably get away for a moment.
You did have to
So-
spend the whole evening with Finn's mom.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
so mad that Victoria's not here because we did not get that supreme anxiety moment of her just like
I
sitting
know.
with the Baptist
Well, then
all dinner.
who knows? Maybe she'll be grilling her later tonight.
Yeah,
I
does,
mean, like,
does,
late
does Beera
in
look
this
like she's
session.
beat up?
Yeah, I think like because we didn't get into it. Like what I imagine is like there's like an unspoken tension because she hasn't relieved like the anxiety in her brain, like, oh, I have to impress the Darlington. So I imagine she's still stressed, and she does tend to pair off with Mest. So I think she would go to the gardens with Mustander. I think that
Especially
makes
if it's
sense.
just you guys and not like any other guests, really,
Yeah, and there's
or
not like
many.
though, like I was gonna say, I think it's like one or if not two people who go off into the gardens. And I was really thinking, honestly, I was thinking Mrs. Krumar and her daughter, the sister of Etram, would probably like stroll through the gardens and appreciate the grounds, is what I was expecting. So it'd be a pretty small party. It would be very quiet out there, and there would be very limited staff because the staff's like not gonna like literally follow you into the bushes and gardens. So
Okay.
what you guys can talk. I didn't know, like, I know you guys are like trying to hit, I like the idea of like you're trying to hit every spot. Is there anything specific you're looking to gather or like just confirm at the gardens as a unit? Or is it just like just checking all our boxes, making sure nothing slips through the cracks?
Well, knowing that it's the two Krumar women, Masson probably engaged them, but
Mm.
uh, Finn hasn't relayed the information about the not engagement, correct? So we don't know that. Okay, yeah. So Mess is just gonna go. She's not gonna blow anyone's cover. She's just
Well, I
gonna go
thought
talk
you
to them.
know.
I know that it's not. They're not announcing the wedding.
Okay. Well, yeah. But like, did she say they're not fully engaged or that they just didn't tell the Krumars?
Like he hasn't formally proposed.
Yeah, there's not been like,
Okay.
there's been like words of intention, but there hasn't been like an engagement or a proposal.
Okay, got it.
Is how I pictured it. So you're not trying to be stealthy. I know it seems like a silly question,
No,
but
Mess is like going. She has a glass. She's going to talk to them. Like,
so
what's up, girlies?
So Mrs. Krumar and her daughter will turn to you and go, I don't know about you, but I am very full from tonight's festivities, so I thought a good walk was in order.
Oh, absolutely. Darlingtons really have quite exceptional taste when it comes to food. I've been traveling a lot recently, so as you can imagine, having something formal and home cooked has been nothing short of heavenly.
I do agree. It was a lovely meal.
Have you all traveled far to be here tonight?
Oh, not terribly. We're a small proper in Garridans. It's about a day and a half.
Oh, not too bad. I'm from Mute Point, so you can imagine.
Oh my, yes, quite far. My daughter has never been to Mute Point, but I went when I was a very young girl. It's
Oh,
cold.
it's it is. It's bracing. It keeps us very strong. I don't get to meet people who've been there. It's nice to know that you know my home at least.
Yes, well, when I was young, I loved to travel, so I was quite an adventurer myself when I was your age.
Not much traveling now, though.
No, I wanted to settle down.
A child, two children.
Yes, and you'll see the Etram's sister is by no means like young. She's like I picture her like uh she's half orc. She looks to be like I think like 22 is what I'm picturing. So she's only like 4 or 5 years younger than Etram, couple years. So it's not like she's like a little girl like being chaperoned by her mother, but like she's like you can see that like roll an insight check for me.
Okay.
I just gave it all away.
Inside
Now I gotta
check.
catch myself.
Inside check. 18.
You can see like the demeanor between Mrs. Krumar and her daughter is very comfortable. Like it is by no means like a strict mother-daughter relationships. It's like they act one as if like one another is like their closest friend. Like you pick up on that pretty quickly, Nest.
Okay. Master actually introduced herself formally because she has not up until this point. She's just sort of been vaguely introduced as a part of the adventuring party.
So Mustender read from Mute Point, who's been traveling with an eclectic group of people for many months now.
Though it does not feel like many months. Yeah, it has been.
What is your biggest takeaway of your experiences so far?
Humans are, by and large, very prissy.
Only
Sorry.
human in the group. Are you talking about me?
That's our large takeaway.
Human in the group.
Well,
You'll
we
see
think some people are also human.
you'll see Mrs. Ettram, Mrs. Ettram, Mrs. Krumar, laughs.
Human.
Yeah, she's human. She laughs probably a little too loud at that. She found that very funny, actually. And she goes, I agree with you. It's one of the reasons I found my husband so charming when I first met him.
How did you all meet?
Well, and she looks at her daughter rather knowingly. Sir, I saw that.
just
We are
just
not
see flames in the
following
distance
old
doing this.
D&D lore. No.
Well, I was traveling off a small island off the Shroudchill region. And I was with a diplomatic party, and we were trying to make contact with a few of the smaller cities that hadn't been spoken to since, well, darn since the Breakening. And, well, we got lost. And I was lost actually for several weeks. And I was saved by a rugged orc who brought me back home and, well,
The rest is
Sounds
history.
yes,
Like
you could say that.
Start of a romance novel. Holy shit.
Mhm.
We're horny for Ettram's dad. That is truly romantic. I hope that at least, maybe potentially, my adventures ended something half as dreamy as that.
Well, I'm certain all good adventures do at least.
You've seen my party.
Well, Miss Andrew, you're quite delightful. You will stay by my side for the rest of our festivities this week.
You are quite delightful yourself. What is the daughter's name? Not the Kayleen. I realized I didn't do voices because Mess is just Kayleen plus.
Willa. And sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry, legitimately, her name's Willa.
Hey, girl. Half. I was writing Willa equals girl half orc. Awesome. I think Mess would probably chat with them a little bit longer, but then dismiss her and Beer, like, within reason, give them a reason for us to, like, walk away and, I don't know, sit down and relax for a little bit.
Okay. Cigar room. I know we have a lot of people there. Brick, we'll have some stuff happen in the part of the room, I promise. But most of the party moved over to the cigar room, where several sealed, like labeled cigar boxes are being opened, and a cigar is being handed out to each of the party guests. And you'll see the Duke is kind of behind the table. Like I have this visual of like a servant lifting the lid of the cigar box and handing them out to each person. And you'll see like the Duke will come back around the table and grab like a sealed cigar and like slip it down someone's pocket, like for later, you'll need one later. Like he is just handing them out. But
Wow.
yeah,
Tonight must be a very special night because you haven't pulled out these fancy cigars since what, your 10th anniversary with Mom?
that sounds about right. But when was the last time we had such guests in our halls?
It's been a while. Yeah.
I think you were very small the last time we had so many families here.
Yeah. I wasn't
Now you are
around in
grown.
this room, that's for sure.
Well, you have grown up, and you are my guest, so you are welcome here. And we will chat, all of us. And you can see roll. No, actually, I don't have to make you roll. I need to stop doing that. The Duke seems a little tipsy, maybe a little too tipsy. You know, his he just seems very like. I mean, if the giving away an extra cigar in people's pockets, like he seems like a little cozy. Like he's definitely comfortable.
Buttons would puff out his pocket a little bit to like just open it up so it's
Oh
easy
yeah,
to access. Yeah.
yeah, you'll get one.
Kieran's gonna get a cigar and immediately try to like figure out like the leaves and like the wrapping and like see what it's made out of.
Okay.
What is this contraption?
Yeah, like I want to see if I can like identify like the specific like region or
Oh.
whatever. Yeah.
Oh please, sir! I know you've rolled a blunt.
We're getting there, but
Oh, get my dad
man.
high.
oh, we're getting there. Yeah, because I know Aldous. I know Aldous has a pipe. I like.
It's in his picture. What I was well, I will say you can see labeled on the box that there are several almost like like vintage shipping labels. Like this has passed many hands over the years, and you can see one of the like of the layers of like postage and stuff indicating its rarity. One of the top labels stamps it for the proper of a day. So this comes from the land of a day. As
This
you
is from
pick it
a
up,
day.
yeah, as you pick it apart, Kieran, I want you to roll a nature check for me.
Cool. Okay. That's a +8, so this should be pretty good. Yeah. It's a 25.
Total?
Yeah, 17 plus 5. Plus 8,
Wow.
sorry.
Okay. Kieran, you know this is probably the best cigar you're ever going to have in your entire life. With confidence. And you know that because you've picked it apart naturally. And the tobacco leaves that make up this cigar are a collection of many different lands, not just one place. This was cultivated across Adurtha. And beyond that, these plants are not plants that you've ever actually had in your collection. These plants are generations odes of the hybrids we now consider common. So you can pick up pretty quickly through the nature of this tobacco plant that these are very old.
Yeah, I would loudly praise the cigars and explain why. Just be like, no, y'all don't understand. Like this is like the grand like the great grandparents of the cigars that people smoke nowadays. Like, holy shit.
Now, I should also add, I know it's literally just us at this point on like watching these videos. I don't know if there's a point that cigars get too old, they're no longer good. In my opinion, it's like a wine. The older a cigar is, the better. I don't know if that's true. So if that's
Nope.
incorrect,
In this
yeah.
magical world, that's exactly how it works.
Yeah, if
Thank you.
they're preserved somehow, fuck
Wait,
it.
If he
Wait,
has
but
a
in
really-
real life, if you keep it in a humidor, doesn't that, like, at the appropriate temperature for all of history, wouldn't it be okay still?
could last a long time. Yeah,
Like
It could last a
in
long time.
theory, yes.
doesn't get better.
Eventually. Yeah.
Doesn't get better, but it's good. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
a good humidor will keep stuff around. But
How long in a like a legitimate setting would a cigar last?
Just under like regular storage
Or-
conditions.
Or like
you
a
ask me
human?
how long Colin and I have had cigars and
Hey,
still
bad
speak-
news. It's much shorter than I thought.
10 years sometimes.
If done correctly, your cigars could last up to 5 years.
God.
I've probably kept them about that long before.
Magic.
Okay. Well, yeah, yep. These can be magically sealed upon creation. And so
These
yes,
were
these
Sealed
are
for
very-
precious.
wine as part of the rolling process, so they actually age like wine.
Yeah.
Magic wine.
I like
I
that.
ju-
Well, I was also going to picture like most cigars. They're like they're like wrapped, right? And like not just like the actual tobacco, but like the cigar itself is wrapped too.
Yes.
In
If
plastic.
you're buying them individually, but if you're buying like a box,
A
they'll
box,
be
no.
on their own. Yeah.
Never mind. It's the thing that Wesley said before with the magic sealing. I've had a cigar since Kayleen's like 21st or 20th birthday, 19th birthday.
Leave it that way. They're not good for you.
That was a rough night.
Bro, that should not rock my socks are negative.
Okay. There's that moment where everyone like gets their cigar, clips it, lights it, and everyone just kind of sits and nods at each other as they smoke their cigar. There's that like first like 10 minutes of probably just like silence of like people just smoking their cigars.
Eventually, as people get comfortable, I'm going to approach Aldous. Well, first, I will go to Finn and be like, I don't want to be like a disrespectful guest in the cigar room, but like, if we're trying to party, and I would be like, is he going to be cool if we like
right here?
Like in this room, or should I go outside?
I don't know. I never tried lighting up in front of my daddy.
I'll ask Aldous.
Hey, we're trying to put on a show, so maybe not in front of Mr. Krumar.
Oh, why is that? Is he like stuffy?
I don't know. I'm trying to get a feel, but I think we're trying to impress.
Huh.
So I'm trying not to do anything to mess that up for my sister.
Ooh, it'd be really cool.
What?
You know that thing that I did when we were talking to Babe and I showed everybody the staircase that I was traveling on? I could do that, but show people like places we've been in our adventures. As if they were there in the cigar.
You could show them the dragon as Finn is heroically slaying it.
Illusory slideshow, I like it.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
Hallucinatory terrain. I can do it. I could do it like 3 or 4 times, and so I could be like, "And this is the ghost carnival we almost got trapped in." Like,
you see that dragon? You go all the way down to the end where the tail is. That's where I was swinging at it.
Yeah, so I think as we're like smoking and getting ready, I think
loosen up a bit, yeah.
Yeah, like let Finn tell the story of like be like you tell the place of like you tell the story of like where we were, and Kieran will just like be like the projector and just like hallucinatory terrain in the room.
And I feel like Glint and Buttons would be like acting it out. I narrate, they act, you provide picture.
Buttons definitely will. I don't know if Glint has more self-respect than that.
Buttons will do it, and he'll add in a little bit of like, crap. There's not really any like. I really need to rework my spell slots or my spell list the next time we go to sleep. You know what? I'll throw some Spirit Guardians, except there'll be motes of golden light around us as we're like doing our thing.
Glint gets super drunk. I feel like Glint would request that Kieran would create hallucinatory terrain of like the room at the inn afterwards, so that he could act out making sure that the coins were good.
Yeah, I was like, where are we getting to?
What's about to happen here?
I was waiting to see the joke drop. I was like, what's he about to say something?
It's a build-up, yo.
Yeah.
While I'm narrating like the stories of these different places, I would be like doing prestidigitation and like adding the faint smells.
Kelly from session 1. Ever since Kelly said it the first time in session 1, I literally giggle every time she says prestidigitation. Every single time.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
And I would be adding like the musky smell of the cave from the dragon fight.
Musky or musty?
And I'm going to use Detect Thoughts again and see if his dad is proud of him.
Aww.
I'm afraid.
That's the nicest thing you've ever done for me.
Well, I'm gonna detect some
I-
surface thoughts and see what the surface thoughts are more accurately. But
honestly, I think surface thoughts, he's a little drunk. So his surface thoughts are just going to be like amazement, like, wow. Like, it's, you guys are putting on a light show in his cigar room, to be fair. So, like,
guys, he might have disadvantage on the wisdom save if I try to delve deeper right now.
We're gonna act it out, and we're gonna like go down, and like we need help, and then like Finn can run in and he can help us and stuff like that. He's the only healer in the room right now, so
I
like
can't heal.
Really?
whatever, man.
Yeah, he's the
You're like
only healer in the room.
The actual only healer in the room who is actually Kieran.
Yeah, but Colin's more
If
like
we were to like add up all the healing points that have happened throughout the game, I'm pretty confident I top the list.
Oh yeah, right. I totally
Oh,
forgot about Colin
definitely.
too. We have 2 healers and I'm not either of them.
it's like you fell down. You just need some protein.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, but I'd
Finn
be
is saving the
adding.
day, is what I'm saying.
Thank you. I'd be adding the smells and the sounds to the picture with some prejudiciation.
Smells.
Some
Just the
prejudice.
smells.
What? Prejudication. That was the last one.
Prejudicating.
Bacon.
Bitch of bacon.
Hey, why is it
Yeah.
called Snore Story?
Hey, why is it called Burp Story?
I saw that.
Girl burping.
Girl burping.
So, you put on a light show inside the cigar room with several guests, including Mr. Krumar and the Duke. Beyond Glenn's detect thoughts, the Duke is amazed. Clearly, the faces of everyone in this room are completely engaged in your cooperative storytelling of your adventures of recent months. Retelling the story of fighting a blue dragon, of exploring the deserts. Yeah, you don't just tell the tale, you show them. You
Yeah.
put them right in the place where it happened, which is far more engaging with story because they can picture themselves there with you. And as the hallucinatory terrain ends, there's this breath of collectiveness with those in the group. Like you share an intimacy similar to the intimacy you guys have all shared by doing this literally together. And it's like this moment of bonding, like, wow, like we know what it was like. Or like they think they do at least.
Ooh.
If it's okay, I'd like to jump over to Brick in the parlor room.
I moved my checkered piece across the board. You should king me now.
Right, because those are the rules we established. But if you have a double queen checker jump, we could become partners. And he pulls out his hand.
Right, that's right. The thing is, if we partner, there is nobody else to fight.
Unless I have finger gun.
You backstabbed me.
That's the trick, Brick. I always win.
Do I know that guns exist?
I don't know. I thought about that as I did my finger
HV
gun.
guns cannon, guys. Just so
Watches.
you know.
Well,
Gunslingers.
Lots of stuff that everybody can remember from here on out.
gunslingers do exist. I do let anyone. You could play a gunslinger, and so
Before Du jour, there was a gunslinger.
yes. So yeah, the guns exist. I don't know if Brick knows all innately how they work. But our sweet
You're going
our
to
sweet
stab
baby.
me with that.
No.
Miranda sings.
Stop.
I thought it was
don't do
supposed to be the
Okay.
Godfather.
Here's the thing.
I'm not going to stable dance.
I could watch a full 2 hours of Brick interacting with Jacob. A whole session of it. Keep going, never stop. Go.
Ellie has permitted it. You may continue.
Brick, you have played several games. I guess you could say checkers, but the rules are constantly changing with Jacob. Similar to the game you kind of were joining right before our guest arrived. It's that energy with Jacob all the time. Like the situation it can't always be like we're in the know. Like something always has to keep going. The game never ends when you're playing with the children of the Darlington family. What features of Jacob remind you of Phineas?
Good question. I imagine there's like a little bit of a cheeky smile that Jacob has that's kind of like Finn's when he makes a joke he thinks is funny. Right?
Okay.
And I also think maybe when they're concentrating, they make a similar face. Maybe they both stick their tongue out of the corner of their mouth and they're like thinking really hard about something.
Okay.
Oh, and they don't say the same thing, but they both tend to have like a punchline or like a gotcha phrase when they make a move.
What is that, Kelly?
That phrase is what do you mean by like a gotcha phrase? What do you mean, sir?
Well, I should say, instead of it being, they have a quip. Like they say something to accent their smart, like their moves. They're like
take that. Like,
yeah,
Bonkus.
you know. So,
Pizza me.
well, it doesn't have to. Okay.
Every day we
time-
stray further from God.
Yeah, you're in Celine. Every time Jacob considers another win, he goes, "It's a me."
Make Kelly laugh.
Yeah. So that's what they have in common.
Okay. Are you you're wrapped up with these games with Jacob? Like you're fully engrossed in them?
I mean, I think Brick is 100% invested in whatever she's doing. Win or lose. I don't think she's smart enough to genuinely win this game, even if the rules didn't constantly change.
Yeah.
I think she's lucky she even remembered that she gets crowned on the other end of the board.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, that's a good point.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'll say.
A demon crawls out of the
Yeah.
window and creeps up behind you, and he goes, "Woogity woogity."
You know, the demon noise. Woogity,
And
woogity,
Jacob
woogity.
goes, "It's a demon."
No,
You're
it's
like,
a
"No,
writing book.
it's me."
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, it's a demon." Huh?
And then Jacob one-shots a Nostrobosu.
Wait, cover it in olive oil.
Brick,
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, please. I'm about to.
No,
I'm
it
gonna
was
do this.
a dumb joke. I don't even
She's
want
about to dump my.
We're
She's
playing-
about to dump shit on my head.
We're playing D&D. There are no dumb jokes.
Like, anytime, if someone ever takes the smell grease, it's just olive oil now.
No, don't remind me of Grease.
We have a.
I'm still
a
triggered
running
by
history with
Grease. I'm still triggered.
Tara's still salty about Grease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost. Okay.
Grease is the word. It's the word.
I hate that more. All is forgiven with the Grease move prior. I hated that pun more.
Okay, sorry. Brick, in between games with Jacob, you are fully engrossed in the changing of the rules and the new things he's teaching you. And though it is a little convoluted, he is teaching you a couple table games like checkers, and it's just, unfortunately, it's like a weird amalgamation of all of them in one game,
Totally.
with finger guns to raise the stakes. But what you do see is you spot, kind of darting past the parlor room, you spot a very elegant Emmeline pulling behind her an Etrim Krumar.
Scandal. Jacob. And I start shaking him. Because I'm guessing it's like behind his chair. Like
you see them pass. Is that essentially what I was picturing? Yeah.
Jacob, I need to go.
What's the password?
I'll be oil these nuts.
God.
Did you really say that?
Fucking no. Dude, I'm so sleep deprived. I don't fucking know.
Just
Nuts.
point 2 finger guns at him.
Let's do a take
Try
two.
that.
Let's just take it. Let's do a take 2.
2 finger guns.
Boiled these nuts.
No, he's like a 12-year-old boy. What do they make up? I don't know.
He's not
2
12.
guns.
How old is he?
He's
10.
9 or 10.
2 guns.
2 guns?
Go pew pew.
No,
He only has 1 finger gun.
I put him 2.
Yeah.
And I say, I got the bigger gun.
It's a you.
Like how we all agree that these nuts is inappropriate for a 10-year-old, but guns are fine.
We're American, all right?
Yep.
It'll rear its ugly head every once in a while.
I don't see guns. I'm
Team
American.
spit. Team spit. All right. Jacob lets you go, Brick.
Cool. I use my monk speed and my pretty good sneaking skills. And I try to follow where they go.
All right, I need you to roll a stealth check for me.
It's 18. Not 10.
Okay. You sneak up on them. You can see Emmeline has brought Etrim back to the area where you guys had dinner. You can see the room has been cleared out. The large oval table you sat at has been moved. And the band is still playing. And when you stealth up behind them, you can see they are dancing.
Oh. In public? The scandal. I'm telling the whole
Where's their
party.
chaperone?
Next thing you know, her ankles will be showing.
Okay. I watch them dance. Do I see a ring on her finger?
No, you don't see a ring on her finger.
Pussy.
You are no longer stuck.
Sarah, I agree.
Sarah is on one tonight.
Sarah is unfucking hinged. This is not productive.
Pussy won't.
Brick is no longer stealth.
Do it.
I love also the brick was pussy. Like,
Pussy.
Aaron, this guy's a pussy.
What does Brick do, Sarah?
I don't know. I guess I don't shoot pussy, and instead I watch them.
You don't have to.
That's a great plan. That's a great plan, though.
Why am I here?
You wanted to go. You wanted to see what they were doing. I told you what they're doing.
Info.
Okay.
Sorry, you're good. Don't worry. Just watch.
It's okay.
Or shout pussy. Both of those are options.
all are
It's a
good.
It's a cute scene
Are there other
won't-
people dancing, or is it just
Oh,
the two of them in there?
No, there is staff still in the room. It's like they're alone, but no, there are no other party goers in there. They're sharing a moment, I guess, amongst the party goers. They're sharing a moment to themselves.
Okay.
The music is still playing from the dinner room. The musicians haven't left there, and so they're playing like a slow song and they're dancing to it. Sarah, I wasn't trying to like, you're not missing anything. What I was trying to do, and I probably did it poorly, was I was trying to raise tension that you were missing something, you spotted something, and it was just a really sweet little lovely little moment between two little
Your
NPCs.
paranoia is
That's all.
getting to you, but they were actually
Yeah,
just in
that's
love.
all.
Aw.
Always the sentinel.
Nope,
Never
nope.
not watching.
Yeah.
Always watching without.
He just walks away.
Always watching without skin.
He like holds on at the last minute.
God.
I think it's canon now that Brick is
Brooke.
yeah.
No, they're Brooke now.
Brooke is the horse girl version of Brick.
But Brick is pissed off by cute things.
Oh shit.
Oh, Brooke.
Yeah, I'll go back to the parlor room, and when Jacob asked,
Jacob's gone.
inevitably, what? You fucking tricked me, you whore! You did this shit on purpose! This is why I don't go!
You have a choice to do whatever you want.
This is why!
He could have just went somewhere else. He didn't want to sit there by himself.
He's a
No,
little
she
kid.
killed him. She killed him. He's
He's a
dead now,
little
guys!
kid.
Because I wasn't there to watch him!
Are we having another frog Igor moment? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm
This
good,
one's
I'm good,
human.
I'm good, I'm good.
Completely in Sarah's imagination.
I'm good, I'm good. I'm good.
Immediately dead.
Oh, that was
There we
funny.
go.
Yeah. No, he just
Is
he's just
anyone
not-
in the parlor?
there are staff, like, besides out in the gardens, there's staff everywhere throughout the house. So yes, there's always someone in the room.
I turned to the staff person. Where did the little boy go?
Mom, it was far past his bedtime. We sent him to his bedroom.
Okay.
But before he went up the stairs, he did ask me to send you a message. Kelly. Kelly. You would see rather confused and like embarrassed he has to do it. He has to pull his hand out from his side and give you a finger gun.
When he shoots the gun and drops to the floor dead.
He said you
Truly dead.
He said you do that, Bab.
I probably think at this point Kieran would probably like pop across the hallway to the parlor and be like, Brick, we're doing the part where you jumped up on top of the beholder. You gotta do it.
Wait, there is another beholder.
Just come on.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
I'm a lady.
No, the butler.
He definitely said mum.
Yeah, he said, "Mum." That makes him a man.
Oh.
Yep.
I
Okay.
do think so, though.
Okay.
It's a very man thing to say.
Sarah registered that I tried to lower my voice in some way, so she was getting what I was trying to put down.
Gender's a construct. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't see guns.
I don't see guns.
Can we kill something? Is there a monster to kill?
We're doing intrigue.
Is there something haunting these halls?
These
I don't know. Is your
hallowed
paranoia getting to you, Sarah?
It always was there. It's never not there.
halls. Sarah, are you in crisis? Do you need help?
No, I'm good.
Blink twice.
What I'd like to do, if there's something you knew you wanted to do tonight, this is not the last moment with people. What I'd like to do is I'd like to say we continue the night to like the late hours. Those who want to, please let me know. Like, it doesn't have to be specific. I'm not gonna hold you to anything strict. Like, do you do anything else interesting before you head to bed? Does the party naturally wind down after these kind of like sections broke off? Um, how fares de jour at the end of the night?
Kieran definitely wants to do a little bit more digging about Mirgan. Just a tiny teensy bit, maybe with one of the Darlington siblings. Which is like probably a safer bet than like setting off one of the guests.
Okay. Yeah. Aldous is the oldest.
Mhm.
So I picture you probably want to speak to him. If it's okay, we won't have to roleplay at all. Is what I'm
No.
thinking. There's something
Yeah,
else I
that's
want to
fine.
get to.
Yeah.
But you're just trying to have him see like what he knows about me again.
Yeah, like
Or what are
when
you
was the
trying to
last
gather?
time? When was the last time Solene heard from Mirgan? Was there anything weird going on before the last time they heard from them? Any rumors since they have heard from Mirgan? That's basically the big gist of it.
I will tell you the oldest, who besides the Duchess, is next in line. He doesn't have a lot of details about Mirgan. He knows loosely that when his dad was younger, there was one family from Mirgan who swore they were of an old house of the former kingdom of Mirgan, that came and visited. He's like, yeah, I've been there. I don't know. Like it's all just kind of like it's clearly relations with Celine and Mirgan were not well established. It just like
Okay.
wasn't something, unlike some of these other families where they've like known each other, developed relationships. He doesn't really have a lot to go on Mirgan. He has like, I've been there. I know enough. I know what they import, know what they export. I know they were a kingdom. I know they kind of broke off and there are like many mini established kingdoms within Mirgan now. That's really all I know.
Didn't somebody take sending? We could send to Kylie.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing another animal messenger to Kylie anyway.
Is it? Could I ask? Only because I've been so busy with work, I haven't talked to Wesley, and there's something I want to talk to Wesley about before we try to engage with
Well,
Kylie.
right now, to be fair, Phineas doesn't really know about the whole Mirgan thing, so we would have to like reconvene. So we can always do it like at a later, like tomorrow, like in game tomorrow, sort of thing.
Yeah.
After you guys like tell me about it.
Yeah, I definitely want. Kieran definitely wants to like give everyone the heads up on what's going on with that. So I think next time we like all bunch together, at a later point, and when we're probably more sober.
We got a good vibe. We don't want to bring down the vibe.
Yeah, we just put on a fucking epic ass light show.
Yeah.
Anything else of note that happens as the party winds down, or how does it wind down? How you picture it?
I just think Mess probably like tried to get Willa to come out of her shell a little bit. And if there's like a band playing, she's probably like dragged her to the dance floor to like twirl her around and have a little bit of fun and like try to, I don't know, be nice to her because she seems shy.
I really like that. Okay, so when you get to the dance floor, it is empty. But you and Willa do a couple dances. Mrs. Kumar is there. A little bit later, some of the other guests who didn't join in the smoking room, or like they kind of like mingle back and forth, join, and I'd like to think some like not too crazy ruckus. I lost the word. Yeah, thank you. Nothing crazy dancing that wise, but yeah, a couple people join you on the dance floor, and it becomes like its own moment where many people partake, and you start to learn some dances of like formal dances of other places.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Thank you.
Like that.
I would find my mom at some point, depending on how long we were chilling in the smoky room, and ask her like for a nice little dance, and kind of dance with her and kind of catch up with her briefly about how dinner went and kind of hint at what she thinks of Vera. I'd go, I really like her, Mom. And do like that whole little thing.
I think I've scared her.
Yeah, but she's only scared because she wants to make a good impression.
Tell her not to try so hard.
That's easier said than done for her, but I can try. I told her she just is herself. You guys love her.
just want to get to know her, Phineas.
Okay. Give her time. It takes some time for her to open up. But she's a good person.
All right.
As they're finishing that conversation, they would see Buttons and Kieran dancing by, and Buttons twirling Kieran.
Ah, that's lovely.
Absolutely. Perfect flower braids swirling.
Great. Anything else as the evening winds down?
Do any of the delegates make out?
No, not on the first night. There are rules.
No night one kissies.
Yeah, that's his number one rule. You guys all
Smooching is
met.
strictly night 2.
You guys all met, and you came up with rules when you became du jour. These group of people came together and they said, "Rule number 1: no kissy on night 1."
Night 1.
Those are
It's like-
rules.
It's like college. I don't do that on the first night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second morning?
Good morning.
Totally fine. Oh, after we fuck, totally fine to kiss.
You can kiss after
that.
that.
Yeah.
As you make your way to your rooms of rest for this evening, I'd like to wrap up tonight's session with a dream sequence.
Oh.
It's been long enough. It's been a bit. I know we always do this on the spot, and I tried to warn you over time, but I intentionally did not warn you. I just want to know what you guys dream about. What are you thinking about? What's on your minds? This is your first night in Zistancia, Celine proper.
You going first, Kayleen, or no?
No, it's our second night.
Not at.
Oh, it's our first night.
Not at the. You stayed the night
took a
first
nap.
at the city.
I was thinking of the whole place. But yes, okay, that makes more sense.
Um,
Now I'm back.
I have my dream. So Phineas dreams that he is at the big church in Zestasia, and he sees lots of very familiar faces, including all of his family and lots of people from other countries are there, like a lot of the people that we've seen this evening, and people from why can't I think of the other town name? One moment. Porcello, including Giuseppe and all of, the family friends and everyone that works at Zestasia. A lot of people in this big ass church. And everyone's very excited, and I can't believe it's the big day, and it's going to be so great, and it's so wonderful to have new people joining our family, and everyone's dressed up, and the dream cuts later to Phineas, standing at the front of the church with all of his brothers, and he sees sisters, and he's looking down the aisle, and he sees Bira. And he's looking around after that because he's kind of surprised, and he sees him standing at the front of the line of like all of the groomsmen or whatever you want to call it. And he's like looking down the aisle at Bira, and everyone's turning and looking down to look at her, and it just really stretches farther and farther and farther, and it looks like she's getting farther and farther away while he's looking down the aisle. And he starts to walk because she's getting farther and farther away. He's walking, and the more he walks, the farther he goes, and he starts running and running, and again she keeps stretching, and he can't reach her, and he kind of wakes up in the middle of the night with a little bit of a sweat. Yeah.
Wow. Kieran's dream also takes place in Zastasio. Kieran is walking down the staircase that Emmeline entered the ballroom down. And as he's walking down the steps, there's this like slow flow of magma trickling down the stairs behind him. As he walks down the stairs, he sees a couple of figures dancing, swirling in the center of the ballroom. They look like the Duke and Duchess Darlington. And as he gets closer to them, the man spins the woman towards him, and it's his mom in Duchess Darlington's clothing. And grass and vines start to grow out of the cracks in the floor as the magma spills onto the dance floor and begins to burn the new foliage away. Kieran tries to look past the woman to look past his mother to see the man, and he can't. Every time he looks, he's like his mother's in the way. And the dream ends when the magma touches Kieran's feet.
Buttons is sort of falling asleep thinking about dancing and having fun, dancing with Kieran, just having a good time. And as he's falling asleep, he's got those images in his head, and then it sort of morphs into the prom over at Astrimium's and dancing and doing the dance party and being like the whoa, yeah, exactly.
You
Finn
want a
gets
dance
it.
battle, yeah.
Doing the dance battle and killing it, and then just kind of continuing to dance and stuff, and the view of Astrimium starts to morph away. It starts to get like dust coming up from the floor, and starts to get brighter. It starts to see other things in the background, little figures that start to form into little houses and things like that. And Buttons finds himself at the Summer Solstice Festival, and he's looking across the town square or the village square at the most beautiful face that he's ever seen. And he walks up and he asks Aravana to dance.
And that's where the dream ends?
May I have this dance? Because I'm you.
Fuck.
That's a
yeah.
good ass dream, dang.
The hecky spaghetti.
Mest dreams of being hungry on a beach somewhere very far away. She's never been here before. Her clothes are in tatters. She looks very, very sexy. And a ship arrives at shore, and on it is a big orc man who's very handsome also, who has come to rescue her.
Just have a smut dream, please.
And that's, I mean, yeah, the dream continues from there.
I love it.
So good.
Does the orc look a lot like Daddy Orc Man? I mean, that is up to interpretation.
I love it.
I didn't know where you were going with it.
What? You're so strong. Help me. I'm in need of a big, strong man that has 2 cocks.
That's the dragon!
Not the dragon's ride. No.
Wait, that's canon, right? Orcs and Dungeons and Dragons have 2 cocks, right?
No, not
Now
in
it
my,
is.
not in my world.
Now it is. I said it out loud.
Not in my world.
Ellie, where have you been to find this deep, deep lore?
It's not the orca decor.
She finally saw my notes on OneNote. It's just like orcs have 2 cocks. Dragonborn have 8 cocks. Like all my lore build.
It's just a chart.
There's no way to cook a brace of conies.
Race, number of cocks. There's just 2 columns.
Pages. Just pages of world building.
Cock number.
I don't,
genitalia.
Yeah, I don't see race. I just see number of cocks.
Yeah.
But you
and I
can tell
definitely
race by
don't
number
see
of cocks.
Put on your
I
pants.
see cock.
Glory holes in Adurtha are strange and numerous.
They're just not even walled. They're
Oh,
just
these
Yeah,
glory holes. These
box.
glory holes are
You
right
go up to
next
one that
each
looks like a Connect 4 board, and you're like, ah!
Too much, too much.
Got me.
I'll go next. I have a really simple one. We're back in the desert. Tumbleweeds drag along the dusty sand. Brick stands confident, looking out over familiar horizon, hands on her hips. 100 acres away. 100 acres?
100-acre wood away.
100 acres. Can't see him.
They're really long, skinny acres, and she's looking across the sideways.
Yeah, actually, yeah. At first appearance, 100 acres away, a speck. Let's keep it. 100 acres away, a speck in the distance. Brick's eyes somehow catch it. Because she can see things like that, I guess. And she blinks, and it's 100 paces away. It's a small form. A cheeky Jacob, double pistol barrel standing on either side, stares down. We hear the crow of a
Boom,
Hawk.
boom, boom.
scavenger bird. And I say, you hear Brick say, Jacob, you don't have to do this. Somehow she got a country accent. And Jacob pulls out his pistol. I know. And there's a moment where they see each other for the first time, remembering all the games they played. And Brick has a choice. She knows she's faster on the draw. Don't kill my pet. But Brick remembers what Finn wanted. Jacob takes that moment of hesitation, pulls out the right, shoots. Brick looks down to where she expects the wound to hit her directly in the heart. But stopping the bullet, layers and layers and layers of red taffeta, the dress she wore at the ball that night. Gasping, pulling at the fabric, restricting her movement, takes the bullet. It drops to the ground and it echoes in the valley of the desert. Jacob says, "You passed." And that was what she dreamed about.
Oh, yeah.
Thought about it, and she knew that the first rule of du jour was survive, and she shot a kid.
Yeah.
Fuck this kid. Pew. Man,
Fuck
Clint,
them kids.
Clint also has a pretty relaxed dream. He's a little grayer about the whiskers, and du jour isn't made up of entirely the same people as it is currently. Mest is there, Kieran's there, Brick's there, but the others, there's other shapes that it looks like some may have dropped out or settled down. and Glint's awake with these figures around him asleep. Looks like he's on first watch. And he's checking the coins that they must have recently earned. And he's tapping on them very lightly so as not to wake his companions. Tap, check, move on, weigh, tap, check, move on. Until he gets to 1. It weighs perfectly, dead perfect. But when he taps it, he looks down. There's 2 coins. He taps it again. There's 3 coins. And again, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He taps again. 9 coins. And that's it.
9 coins. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow, guys.
9 lives.
Oh no. I love that. Thank you guys. I always love when you guys do dream sequences. If I could add one. Your head looks down as you collect the piles of red taffeta dress that spilled out of you in your dream brick. As you lift it back up from the desert sand that you had your standoff with Jacob, as you lift it and put it back on, you can see you're wearing it again. And as you look up, the 100 acres, 100 paces of the desert landscape has changed. Though desolate and limited of trees and other things similar to the desert, you are no longer in the desert. Your dream has taken you somewhere else. You can make sense based off the stark change in lighting where you are, that beyond there meets a horizon. The ground itself is washed in this warm red, the sky a deep dark blue. You've never seen this place before, and you know you are not at home. Hold tight.
I'm getting fucking pictures, bro.
The desert horizon now looks something like this. Where the land meets the sky, there is a veiled line of burning, kind of bright, warm light. And you can see what used to be the familiar cliffs and hills of the desert, the lands of Ashoka Kiwi, or the desert of your people. It has shifted to something far darker. As you look up, you can see first what comes clear into your focus is this landscape, and at the front of it, kind of facing away from you still, is Jacob. He's focused on you as you've collected the dress you've put on. And as you kind of see what you looked at, you see he turns his head, swiveling his body and looking around. Brick, where are we? The cowboy, even though he's still dressed in the dream as if he's like a little cowboy, he looks scared. And he looks to you for answers.
Keep your back to me and walk towards my voice.
He'll be like frozen. And as you're giving him these directions, Brick, you can see that very stark line where the like rocky land meets this like fire blazing sky. You can see where that bright kind of warmth is very clear. Speckled figures begin to trickle across it. You can see it fills your whole horizon. And you can make out from a far distance, similar to how you spotted Jacob in your dream, that this is an army coming closer. Their forms start to make shape. Monstrous beings, demons of all variety, showing chaos straight from the abyss itself. their shifting forms make up this kind of like effect. What look from a distance would look like the growing embers. You can see as you get closer is this dark kind of like powdery material that kind of like waves and rushes off of them, and they move almost like this unit. Like you can't really see one stand out. And as Jacob starts to back behind you, they're almost approaching, and it's you against an entire army. And Jacob gets close enough, like he's like his back is almost pressed against you, and you turn to pull him to you. You've got him in your grasps, and his form has shifted. His eyes are hollow and red, similar to the color that washes the sky. This powdery, dark essence pulling off of him. He is no longer Jacob, but his voice. You can register initially a voice, Brick, and his voice starts to shift and change as this army comes towards you. It's you. As you wake up from the dream.
Oh, motherfucker.
That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Yay.
The fuck, dog?
I don't, ignoring copy, sorry, I'm copy pasting, ignoring this picture is loosely what I had, ignoring the spear. This is how I pictured he looked as you turned him to you.
Oh my god.
Cool.
Kind of like this inky, blotchy material kind of falling off of him.
Did he say it's you?
It's a you, yeah. Sorry. I didn't do
it.
I
Wait,
didn't.
It's a you or
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
you?
I got caught up by the changing, the voice changes. It's initially it's a scared voice of Jacob, Brick, and as it changes to this dark, like monstrous voice, it's a you. As you wake up from the dream.
You fucking bastard.
If only I picked how to do it to him.
Had to do it to you.
Reverse Uno card.
Oh god.
As we will wrap up tonight's session.
Oh,
Um,
oh boy.
It is 11 o'clock. We did start a little bit later, but not that much later. Yeah. All right. We can talk about fair stuff. I can just end the video too.
Who is
Good night,
the best?
Internet. What are we saying? We'll talk about it.
Who's
What are
the
we saying
best?
today? Good night, Internet.